Nah, women don't masturbate. But is that true? People talk about masturbation all the time, but usually it's about men. Women, not so much. And when it's discussed, it's often treated with discomfort, disbelief, or silence. For years, it's been treated like this weird, taboo thing, something women aren't supposed to do. But here's the thing. Women do masturbate, a lot of them, and science actually has some really interesting things to say about it. But why are we even talking about this? Because sexual health is mental health. Understanding your own body builds confidence, reduces anxiety, and promotes autonomy, and that's something everyone deserves. When something is surrounded by stigma, people can feel shame about something that's completely natural, and when we don't understand how something works, it can lead to confusion, more anxiety, or even feelings of guilt. So what happens when women do it? It's actually different in some surprising ways. What happens in a woman's brain? Okay, we know orgasms release dopamine and oxytocin for everyone. That's not news. But here's where it gets interesting. When a woman orgasms, a Rutgers University study found that up to 30 areas of the brain light up, including the insula, the part of the brain that processes full body sensations. That might explain why some women describe orgasms as more immersive or even out of body. And get this, the prefrontal cortex, aka the part of your brain that overthinks everything, actually shuts down. That's a big deal because it might explain why some women feel more mentally free or lost in the moment. For many men, brain activity tends to stay a little more stable. So while they feel pleasure, they don't always get the same full-body mental escape effect. Contrary to popular belief, it's more like sipping tea than a fireworks show. People often assume that masturbation is always quick and intense, but for many women, the experience itself is a lot slower and more drawn out, not just the orgasm. Some researchers describe the way women experience arousal as being more like a long stroll in the park, gradual, rhythmic, and building over time, rather than a sudden sharp peak. This means that for many women, masturbation isn't always about reaching orgasm fast, but about the sensations along the way. It highlights that female pleasure doesn't follow a one-size-fits-all script. And that's not a flaw. It's part of the beauty and depth of female sexuality. Unlike men, whose stimulation often follows a straightforward pattern, women's arousal can fluctuate. Some moments being more intense, others feeling more subtle. Some women even find that focusing too much on reaching orgasm actually makes it harder to get there. While others describe masturbation as more about relaxation, self-connection, or simply unwinding from stress. This might also explain why some women are capable of experiencing multiple waves of pleasure or different types of sensations, depending on the stimulation and their mood. Can it actually improve your sex life? There's a common belief that masturbation helps people understand their own bodies, but for women, this is especially relevant. A study found that women who explore their own pleasure tend to report higher levels of sexual satisfaction, not because masturbation replaces intimacy, but because they have a clearer sense of what works for them. This makes sense when you think about it. Women's anatomy has been less openly discussed than men's, and a lot of people grow up without much guidance on what's normal. So, for many women, masturbation isn't just about pleasure. It's also about getting to know their own body without relying on trial and error with a partner, and reclaiming agency over it. Learning what feels good, what doesn't, and where boundaries lie can empower women to navigate intimacy on their own terms. Can you do it too much? While self-pleasure is normal and healthy, it's also important to check in with yourself. If it starts interfering with your daily life or emotional well-being, it might be a sign to explore what's behind it. Not out of shame, but from a place of self-care. When people talk about excessive masturbation, it's usually in the context of men, things like desensitization or compulsive behavior. For women, there's less research on negative effects, but some studies suggest that frequent orgasm might have an impact on hormones. For example, some women notice that masturbation close to their period can slightly intensify PMS symptoms, possibly due to fluctuations in dopamine and oxytocin levels. Another factor is sensitivity. Some women who use external stimulation very often, like a vibrator on a high setting, might find that they become less responsive to other types of touch for a short time. But this usually isn't permanent. Just like adjusting to a new routine, the body tends to adapt. So while there's no set, healthy amount, it's really about paying attention to how your body responds and what feels right for you. So, does masturbation really have an impact? For women, the answer is yes, but in ways we don't always talk about. It's not just about pleasure, it's about curiosity, self-trust, and understanding your own body. It's about breaking old stigmas and recognizing that female sexuality isn't something to be ashamed of. What do you think? Is this something that should be talked about more? Let us know in the comments. If you found this video helpful, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to Psych2Go for more content like this. And remember, you matter.